Welcome back. I'm here with Beth Milligan with the National Writers Series and author Anthony Weber. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, Anthony, your new book, Learning to Jump Again, right here. Interesting title. I guess we'll get to that in a second. But first off, what inspired this book for you?
My dad died at age 57 of pancreatic cancer.
That's young.
It is young,
Wow.
and it was fairly abrupt. Pancreatic cancer moves pretty fast. And one of the ways that I dealt with the grief afterwards was to do a lot of journaling. And it wasn't like an everyday kind of experience, but the weeks would build up, the months would build up, and you'd have these days where everything would converge.
Oh, yeah.
And my best way of kind of coming to grips with that was to write. So I did a lot of writing after my dad's death.
And then it just kind of turned into this. Wow.
It did. It was a journal. And I started to share entries with some friends of mine at one point, and began to realize that what I was experiencing was not unique, though I didn't realize it because I hadn't heard people talk about grief a lot. And the feedback I got from my friends was significant, a lot of really raw experiences they'd had, often carried for years without ever talking with anybody about it. And I realized it could potentially be a vehicle by which people can kind of see camaraderie with others who've gone through loss.
Right, right.
And one of the things I thought was so interesting is that you've kept blogging since the book has come out. You write pretty often about your experiences and what the reactions to the book have been. Could you talk a little bit about what the title means and where that came from?
Yeah, a number of years after my dad died, I was swimming with my boys at a hotel, and my 3-year-old at the time thought it was clever to run alongside the pool and jump in, and I was there to catch him. It was in the deep end.
Aww.
And he got bolder and bolder, and a couple times I almost didn't catch him. But it struck me later that he just trusted me, that he couldn't imagine that Dad wouldn't be there to catch him, so he would jump and he would jump and he would jump. And I made a connection of that with the way I experienced grief, especially my relationship with God, feeling like God had always been there to catch me. And I had found a situation in life where I felt like I had jumped into the deep end, and it felt like I wasn't caught. And that inspired a lot of the writing, was coming to grips with that.
Wow.
What has the reaction been like to the book so far?
It tends to be, I think, pretty cathartic for people. I'm
Yeah.
pretty raw with what I write, and I think it touches a lot of nerves. But I also try to be very honest, and part of the journey that I've been on is looking at grief in the face, wrestling with it, not trying to dodge what I've been experiencing, and trying to regain that ability to jump again.
Oh, wow. I think this can help. I mean, yours is your dad, but it could be losing anyone and accepting it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Anthony.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you.
If you'd like to purchase Anthony's book, he'll be signing copies this Saturday, December 3rd at Horizon Books in Traverse City from 2 to 4 p.m.